helping someone out. Compassion shows to the person going through pain that you care, which not only benefits them, but it also benefits you and makes you feel good. If you know that you are doing something, such as helping someone out, then not only do it for your good, but for the other person's too. So, can you give us a brief definition of what you think compassion is?
I think compassion is being able to connect with someone else, to try to understand how they're feeling, and to be supportive of them in that setting, to be kind, to be gentle. But I think compassion, again, especially is how you relate to other people, and try to kind of meet them where they are, understand where they are, and be supportive of them.
All right, awesome. What is an example when you've used compassion in the past?
Well, I try to be compassionate with students, my own, for example, who may be dealing with a difficult circumstance at home, or maybe had an awful lot of things going on one night and weren't able to get an assignment together for the next day, rather than to just say, well, too bad it's late. And so, you take a hit for it, or to try to be understanding and say, well, okay, get it to me tomorrow, or something like that. That would be sort of a school example, perhaps, of being compassionate.
All right. What is an example of compassion that you've seen others do?
Well, lots of other teachers do as I do, in our understanding about students being pulled in many directions, and our compassion in that respect. But when you see people who are going out and helping other people who are less fortunate in one setting or another, or when someone is dealing with a very difficult situation, we've recently had a faculty member who lost a spouse. To see people who are reaching out and wanting to be supportive, spending time, touching base, to make sure that the surviving spouse is managing that profound loss, as well as can be expected. I think that's an example of other teachers, other people being compassionate to someone who is in dealing with a lot.
There's 7 steps to why we should use compassion. Number 1 is that compassion makes people feel better. Scientists believe that compassion activates a brain cell that can help a person's health. Number 2 is if we are compassionate, then other people will become compassionate too. Number 3 is that scientists have done brain scans when people are using compassion, and it suggests that people's minds tend to think less about bad memories and what has gone wrong. Instead, people focus on more happy, more bright memories.
Okay. Mr. Dian, can you give us a definition of compassion?
When I think of compassion, I think of the word empathy, which is, again, kind of walking in someone else's shoes, thinking about how things are affecting them, and then trying to do something to make that situation better. That's my definition.
Okay, can you give us an example of when you have used compassion in the past?
I try to use compassion in my everyday life as much as possible. So I'm always, thinking about how my actions might affect someone, and if there's anything I can do to make that situation better. I think, again, being a teacher, that's what I try to teach my students, is give examples historically of people who have been mistreated, and how we can look at things from their point of view, and make decisions based on that, to make things better in the future.
Okay. Can you give us an example of when you've seen other people use compassion? I see that a lot. My personal life, I think, I look at my daughter, who's very compassionate, particularly towards animals and the environment. She's only 10, so she's seeing things at a small level, but if she ever sees like an animal, a cat or dog or something walking down the street, she immediately wants to stop and try and help it and see if it's okay, that sort of thing. Okay. And then, has there ever been a time where you should show compassion and do the right thing, but you didn't?
Honestly, I can't think of an example for that one.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Number 4 is compassion can make you better caring adults. Number 5 is it can make better spouses. When people show compassion, spouses seem to be more optimistic and more supportive when communicating. Number 6 is when you show compassion to others, it makes people feel less vindictive, which means having a desire for revenge. Number 7 is when people in a workspace show compassion to their co-workers, these people see their organization as a positive organization. The co-workers feel positive emotions like joy, and the person showing compassion and the co-workers are more productive.
All right, Mike, can you give us a brief definition of compassion?
Sure. I think that compassion is the ability to recognize in others suffering or struggle, and then a desire to help relieve some of that suffering.
All right, what is an example when you've used compassion in the past?
Well, I try to be as compassionate as possible, but I think it's hard to tell the difference between being helpful and being compassionate. But just the other day, I was driving down First Avenue South, and there was a woman whose car who stopped working. I pulled over, got out of the car, and pushed her car out of the street, and set her up to get towed later on before school the other day.
Very awesome. What is an example of compassion that you've seen others do?
Fortunately, I've seen many acts of compassion from people being helpful, like what I've suggested, to people trying to join organizations that help alleviate the suffering of others, much like the volunteerism that goes on here at Shorecrest. Additionally, I think people get involved with careers that they see as being helpful. Teachers and doctors and service folk, specifically police and firefighters. But I also have been very fortunate to witness personal acts of compassion as well.
Has there ever been a time where you knew you should show compassion and do the right thing, but you didn't?
Yeah, I think so. I think that if anybody's being honest with themselves, that is very much the case. Why are you laughing?
Because
You wanna-
Jake looked at me.
Keep it together. All right, ask
But
the question.
the golf cart came anyway, so we didn't even need that one, do we?
Ask the question again.
Alright. Has there ever been a time where you knew you should show compassion and do the right thing, but you didn't?
I think so. I think that if anybody's honestly evaluating their behaviors in the past, there are always times when we can do better, particularly when helping others. I think that our own personal concerns and struggles often take precedence over others. I personally try to do my best to help other people whenever possible. Sometimes I think I've fallen short of that.
The components of compassion, which is caring, to be concerned, to make provisions, or to look out for, or to be fond of. The 3 elements of compassion are self-kindness versus self-judgment, common humanity versus isolation, mindfulness versus over-identification. Someone who follows this will act like this. They should always help a person in need. They should be concerned about the people in trouble or happy for someone who does good. They should show humanity or kindness, and they should look out for their friends.
Go. Alright. Can you give us a brief definition of compassion?
Yeah, compassion is the ability to feel and have a strong emotion towards another person or another cause.
Alright, sweet. What is an example when you have used compassion in the past?
Very often I feel like I use compassion. I'm one of those very emotional people, and so thinking about how others are. One of the things I've done more recently is there is a organization called the Nomad Art Bus, and what they do is they take basically a traveling studio and they go to neighborhoods where young kids don't have art supplies and access to art. And so I've gone on some of those trips and been out there with the kids and creating art, and it was just, I really loved it because I thought it was a good thing to do.
Okay, what is an example of compassion you have seen others do in the past?
I think more recently in the news, watching what's happening in Dakota with the Native American movement. They're trying to protect the water in their area, and then there's a conflict with what's happening with a pipeline. But what's interesting is other people have come out to also support the Native American people there. So I thought that's been an interesting kind of current situation where compassion is being exchanged.
All right, has there ever been a time where you knew you should show compassion and do the right thing, but you didn't?
I'm sure there is. I think when I was younger, in those scenarios where maybe someone made a joke and they were trying to be funny, but in some ways it hurt another person's feelings. There's probably moments where I didn't say anything or call it out. I might not have necessarily laughed along, but I could have been a little bit stronger and said, hey, wait, why are you saying that? That's as specific as I can remember.
I got it! Yes! You're such a loser. You suck, James. You freaking suck.
Hey guys,
Oh my.
Willie Mays here. Do you think what Max did there was compassionate? The answer is no. He did not show compassion after Jake dropped it. Instead, he just ran around the bases and laughed at him. Willie Mays here again, and this is what Max should have done.
Oh, crap, dude, are you okay, bro? Are you alright, bro? Come on, man. I'm sorry.
Good morning, class. Today we have a new student. Make sure to introduce yourselves.
Hola, me llamo Max.
Hola, me llamo James. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, me llamo Jake.
You're so bad at Spanish.
What?
Me llamo Jake.
What did I do?
So bad.
Bro, do you even Spanish?
What? What do I do?
Hey guys, I'm back. Willie Mays here again. This is what they should have
Good
done.
morning, class. Today we have a new student. Introduce yourselves.
Hola, me llamo Max.
Hola, me llamo James.
Hola, me llamo Jake.
It's me llamo, not me llamo.
Oh,
Yeah.
gracias.
It's gracias, not gracias.
Oh,
It's alright.
sorry, I'm not very
Alright.
good at Spanish.
We're
It's
here
my
to make mistakes.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Yeah, I'll be there in a second. I gotta hurry. God, there's no freak on the street. I'm so tired.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. Willie Mays here. This is what they should have done.
Hello? Yeah, I'll be there in a second. Yeah, I know. Oh, sir, do you need help across the street?
Yeah, I need some help, Jake.
Okay, here.
Oh god. Oh, that could really hurt.
No problem.
There are three main ways we can make Shorehurst a more compassionate place. Number one is there's a week where if you make fun or insult people, you would have harsher punishments, like you'd get a detention if a teacher catches you making fun of someone or insulting them. The second one is bring guest speakers from companies like Guardian Ad Litem and charities like that, and they can talk about how they have to use compassion in their daily lives and dealing with the type of people they deal with. And then the third idea is there'd be a box where you can put someone's name in it if they're compassionate to you, and at the end of the month, an administrator will pull one name out of the box, and whoever's name is pulled out wins a $10 Menchie's gift card.